This video is brought to you by A12 Productions. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to enjoy the videos. Also, please try and comment and rate the videos. Thank you. HTML statements inside of it. Whereas here, we're just outputting a text box, and HTML isn't understood in the text box, so we can't use HTML in there. If I just go ahead and press OK on this text box, we now have our next text box appearing, and as you can see, that single line comment didn't appear because of course it's a comment. And if I press OK on this one again, it doesn't appear. If I press OK finally, it will get onto the rest of the text. As you can see, it outputs this stuff here, and the reason being it doesn't output that while this is while we're alerting this text box is because the text box has to be alerted before it can continue, and to complete the alerting to complete the statement, basically we have to press OK on that text box. Okay, so anyway, moving on. I know that's a bit much, it's quite a bit to take in, but anyways, let's move on now. We're going to talk about alerting numbers and stuff and doing mathematical operations. So here you can see we can alert a number in several ways. We can first use this document.write statement, and we can just in between two quotes we can write 7 and then a break line statement, of course. So whoops, I've got to go through these. I'm just going to comment this out quickly using a multi-line comment. Close. Okay, so I'm just going to comment that out, and as you can see here we've output 7, and it's output 7 like usual. And then on the next line I've got 7 outside of quotes, so there's no quotes. And remember how I went over I can't remember where, but I went to, oh yeah, I did it up here. We can't just use this. That's because it's actual text. With numbers it works okay. So as you can see, the first 7 here was this one, and then the second 7 is this one, and just so you know, we can't do this. This won't work. As you can see, it screws up the entire page because BR has to be between the quotes, but 7 doesn't. So how do we sort this problem? We'll get onto that later. But before we get onto that, I just want to talk about something. So as you can see, the other statement is on this same line as this. We can do mathematical operations inside of document.write statements, and also alert statements, I should point out. Anyway, so I've got 7 plus 5 here, and that outputs 12. Okay, and I can change this. I can do division with the /, 1.4. I can do multiplication with the star. That's 35. And I can do subtraction with the dash. That's 2. Okay, so I can do lots of mathematical operations in between the document.write statement, and of course, as I said, this all works between the alert statement. Moving on, anyway, I have this document.write statement, and before I start outputting text, I put the BR so it's not on the same line. Let's just refresh this quick so it's back to usual. And I've got the answer to 7 plus 9 is, and then I put 7 plus 9. Now, if we take a look at this statement here, the answer to 7 plus 9 is, and it still says 7 plus 9, rather than giving us the actual value, the actual procured value of this expression. So how do we solve this problem? Well, let's look to the next statement. We've got the answer to 7 plus 9 is, and here's where concatenation comes. And remember how we were talking about how we can't put BL like that, but we can actually concatenate it on. Or to concatenate, all we have to do is we use this plus sign, okay? So the answer 7 plus 9 is, then we close the quotes, and then we put the plus sign, and then we put our expression. So like we see, 7 plus 9, and there's a little hiccup we'll see here, and I'll talk about it in a sec. And then we just got another plus, and opening the quotes again, and just putting a line break there. So anyway, this is the second statement, and if we look at what's outputted here, there's a tiny problem with it, okay? And that is, the answer 7 plus 9 is 79, okay? So what's going on here? Well, what's going on is, because this plus statement inside a document.write statement is used to concatenate things. Notice you can also use this plus operator to concatenate inside alert statements as well. Because it's used to concatenate, what we're doing here is we're concatenating on 7, and remember what happens when we output 7 here. Let me just take away this. When we output 7 here, it actually gives 7. So we're outputting 7, as you can see here. And then again, the document.write statement thinks we're actually trying to concatenate it on something else. And after that there's a 9, so it outputs 9. And then again, finally we have the break line. So how do we solve this problem? Well, let's move on to the final statement here. And that is the answer to 7 plus 9 is, and then we've got our plus sign here. And then we've got opening and closing parentheses, and in between that we have our mathematical operation, and then a plus, and finally that line break. So what's happening here is we're saying, okay, first output this this string, then add on to that the output of everything in between these braces, and then, or parentheses rather, and then add on to that this break. So by putting this stuff between parentheses, it allows us to give out the true value, so the answer 7 plus 9 is finally 16. Anyway, this has just been a short tutorial by ASIG12. The next tutorial we're going to be going over variables, so look out for that. Over and out.